Good day to you all, Greenbeak here, and welcome back to another episode of Wetherby. If you're new around here, then let me give you a quick recap of what we're doing here. We are building or trying to build a realistic city here in Cities Skylines. It's going so far pretty great, I think. The city is based in the UK, and drawing a lot of inspiration from cities along the south coast, such as Brighton, Southampton and Portsmouth. But if you've been here already, then you of course know all this. And you know also that I've been gone for like a month, or maybe so almost 2 months, I don't know. I'm not gonna bore you with what I've been doing, but I'm gonna give you a sentence or two. I've been on vacation. I've actually been in Brighton. I did think I talked about that in the previous episode. Yeah, I was there around start of June, I think. Had a lovely time, and yeah, it was really inspiring to see. Yeah, I've been looking at Brighton for so long, doing maps and stuff, and drawing inspiration for this series, and it's quite different when you're actually there. So be prepared for some more Brighton-inspired builds in this series, even more than they already are, because I took a lot of footage from the area, and hope to implement that in the city as well. And I also moved. I moved apartments, so that takes a while. So finally, I think we moved a couple of weeks ago, but just about now we're almost done, I would say, with the moving part. So yeah, that's enough about me. Let's talk about what you see on screen here. Today we're building the first industrial area in the city. It is much needed because every single building, commercial building, has this lack of goods sign always popping. You can probably see it in distance as well, because so far it's the only thing we're placing down really is a bit of residential and unique buildings and commercial. So I thought this would probably fix the issue. However, we still have that issue, even though we placed down this industrial area, and also it should be working. You know, the people are working there, so but maybe even need more. So, but anyways, I have that no abandonment mod that. You know, if a building is struggling, then it won't disappear. So that's a lifesaver in this case. We are this industrial area is not really or halfway inspired by one in Brighton. I don't think it's much of an industrial area, just maybe a sort of train yard, because it's located, of course, very near the central station. However, this one is much larger, of course, and also is on both sides. But the only reason I did that was because, of course, we had some issues with goods and we needed the industrial. So yeah, it's important also to play the game while you're just detailing, because or really, it doesn't really matter, but for me, kind of, I want a city to be functioning, you know? I don't want it just looking good, I want it to actually work, so that's why we're building this this industrial area, much larger than the one I got inspired by from real life. This building is it was supposed to be like a bus depot. You see later how it turned out not to be, or kind of. Let me just explain in when you see it, in fact. But I took a bus depot down from the workshop, and then I placed it beneath that building. I think it's a European garage or something. I don't know what it's called, something like that. And made it look like it was inside, and then integrated into the building. So the building looks very nice, but it's just a normal industrial building. However, doing that, you can make it appear like it actually is a bus depot. So not sure if I'm gonna use it in the future. You can see why, but yeah, I had some issues with it. And now I'm also placing down a I don't really know a lot about trains, but you know, whenever a train needs some repair job or whatever, they probably need to go in some sort of garage or something like this. And I saw one similar in Brighton near the central station. And why did I say central station? Probably just called train station. Anyways, but that one building was just for the Gatwick Express, which is basically an express train going to Gatwick. But I could possibly imagine that one just being a repair building as well, or it could be like a storage building for trains. I don't know. As I said, I don't know that much about trains, so this is a bit of a treacherous area. So let's move on. Now my last video was uploaded, yeah, well over a month ago. I didn't really think it would get so popular as it did. Of course, my other videos and probably this one as well would generate like 100 to 300 views, and for me it's still much, of course, but the last one, like all of a sudden, I think it's nearly at 10,000 views now. And I remember when I posted it, I posted it, and I also shared it on the Cities Skylines subreddit, and also I tweeted it as well. So follow me on Twitter for any updates on this series. But yeah, I tweeted it, and it got some retweets and some likes and stuff like that. So I early caught on that this video had more views from the first couple of hours than the other ones, and I just thought, yeah, that probably is because of I shared it on the subreddit, and that tweet, you know, it was retweeted by someone with a large amount of followers as well. So I didn't really think too much about it. But when I went to sleep, and the night after, I woke up and I went from like 70 views to 6,000. And of course, when that happens, well, what should I say? Something must have been going on, because I was just lying in bed, you know, shocked, really. I remember I was at my parents' house, and just thought to myself, what's going on? And I went through the comments, and later, one of you guys said that this was featured on a website called Kotaku or something. I don't know. I never heard of it. It's sort of like basically a web page totally dedicated to gaming news and articles and stuff like that. And I looked at it, and yeah, there is an article like on the front page about like my video, and it was basically just about this guy who wrote it, he enjoyed it and wrote an article about it. So that is very much the entire reason why this video got almost 10,000 views instead of 200. So if you found my channel and subscribed from finding that video on Kotaku, then let me know in the comment section down below, because I think I got almost like well over double the subscriber amount in like 2 weeks after that video. because I had like 70 before, and as of recording I think I have almost 180. So yeah, let me know down below if you actually found this video via Kotaku. That's I think that's cool to know how many actually discovered the series by that. So let me know down below if you found it there. So looking back at what we're building here, I always, when I build, I don't know if everyone does this or no one does this or whatever, but I always picture like what these buildings are meant for, and of course not every single one, but you know, the bigger ones, and what certain areas, what the main purpose is. So I think we build in episode 2 or 3, we build a cargo train terminal on the other side of the tracks from what we're building right now. You can see it later in this episode that we're building or continuing building on that side. But yeah, so we built that like a long time ago. I thought, like, after I build this, then, you know, what's the point with 2 cargo train terminals, you know, just right next to each other? So, you know, I in my head I was trying to make up a story behind that, and I thought maybe, like, since this one that we're building right now is a lot larger, it could be like this one is just a cargo terminal or a train cargo terminal that different businesses, like different entrepreneurs and whatever, based in Wetherby here can order cargo coming in, like can order goods to get to their, you know, shops or use in construction or whatever. So they order shipments and they come in via the train, and they pay sort of like a fee to the train terminal. So that white building, you know, that white train terminal, it doesn't do anything else but accepting cargo. So you know, that's the only reason why that one gets money or earns money, is because of people ordering cargo and stuff. The one on the other side, however, I thought maybe that could be like a private thing, like a company like DHL or UPS or something that like only delivers parcels and stuff, that they have, instead of every time they deliver goods they have to, you know, pay the fee to the train terminal. So instead of doing that, they actually build their own train terminal. So I don't know how realistic that is, and if that is something that happens in real life. Although over here, the company my dad works at, some construction company, it's they bought their own harbor. So it's they have 2 harbors nearby, and it sounds kind of like crazy how we have 2 very small harbors. And you know, it's not that much happening over there, but it's pretty cool to think about, like this small company with yeah, they're only based in that small city I grew up in. They like own two harbors, and you know, get actually boats coming in, so it's pretty cool to think about. Okay, so finally we're placing down these buses, and I use these buses by, I can't really remember who it's from, but the bus is Scania bus, if that is rings any bells. The thing is, very bad thing is that when you place these down, as we can see, they change color every now and then. And I want, of course, to be a bit realistic, and I want the same color on all these buses. And now you can see I changed the bus from a double decker to like a normal bus, and they didn't have the same color. I like this blue color on this double decker bus, but when I tried to find a normal bus, they didn't have the matching color. They had like a pale gray. So I think that was really weird, and it was really annoying as well, because I wanted this to be like in the main depot, for all the city buses. And of course I would want more than just the simple 2-story buses. Like, I want all kinds of buses. But I want them all to be the same color, of course, because else it would look kind of foolish in my opinion. So instead I went and created like a lot for only double-decker buses, and I would probably this probably would be like a coach depot, like buses that go long distances, like Greyhound in the US. I saw one bus when I was in Brighton that went from Brighton to Portsmouth, so it kind of actually looked like the one that I placed down as well. So if I put up a line that is kind of far, then I use those buses. But that means I have to, for the city buses, I have to go ahead and create another depot somewhere else, which is kind of a shame, since it was such a great location. But anyways, I thought the idea was cool, and I actually ended up liking the result at the end there, even though it wasn't what I first wanted. But it works. And I also completely fall in love with these parking lot roads. These are not the original ones, or it's by the same person, but it's a much grayer one, because the other one's pitch black. However, this one, it fits a lot better with the asphalt in the vanilla roads, so it just looks a lot better in my opinion. So that's why I'm using it basically everywhere, and also went ahead in other parking lots we placed in previous episodes, and replaced a lot of these the black versions of this parking lot with these torn down grey ones, because simply look better. So now we're building, or starting building on the other side of the train tracks. I talked a bit about what I thought could be on the other side here, especially with the cargo train terminal that already exists here. You can see it. Yeah, it's a building that already was placed down, and as I said, it would probably be like the private one. And thinking about like maybe this area could be a bit more like a private owned area, if I should say that, because right now we're placing down this car dealership. Of course that's not privately owned. We're also placing down these storage facilities pretty soon, I think, which I think private people could actually just rent, because always stuff is like that, especially around here. You can rent your own storage facility. It's not a big one, but I don't think what they were gonna have in there. Maybe some like an old car, or like a winter tire is probably the main thing that they want to keep in there, especially where I live, where it's pretty much snowy, not all year, basically from November to March, I think. So in the summertime they need somewhere to store their winter tires, and a place like this would fit perfectly. And also this area stood pretty empty, since the start, and I always knew what I wanted to do here. I wanted to create this pretty large car scrapyard thingy. Pretty basic. I used the props by Beard Monkey for this one. It has everything for a perfect scrapyard, including the cars and the signs and everything, except some like one building I'm placing down here, which I can't remember where it's from. Now I can't. Talking about things I can't remember. One of you said in a previous comment, can't remember when, but if I could create like a collection on the Steam Workshop with all my mods and assets, and that is of course something I would like to do, and I'm actually currently trying to do. The only thing is I need to go into every asset that I downloaded, seem like 2000, and individually click on them and add them to the collection. So I am in the making, although it would take some time. So just be patient, but realize that I'm actually trying to do so. It's a pretty good collection if you want to create a British city. But anyways, we are nearing the end of this episode. I would like to thank you all for watching, and remember, if you did find me at via the article and at Kotaku, then let me know in the comment section down below, and yeah, tell me what you think as well of the episode, and drop a like if you did enjoy, and consider subscribing for even more. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.